cars were using the pit lane while the racetrack was being avoided to clear the Stephen Grove Porsche debris off the road. Antares Au back at the wheel of number 33 here in traffic. We were touching on what he has to do, if anything, now to win the independents and how unlikely it is. And at this point, he's probably ruining not doing the Bathurst race, because had he scored points, that would have been a different thing. But motor racing's full of ifs and buts, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I spoke to them after qualifying yesterday. So excited to get going. Smiles all round across all three drivers. And then earlier in the race, very pensive looks indeed. But Antares Au kicking on. The number 33 Porsche looks very much alive in this part of the race. And I think it's one thing having those moments that knock your confidence and knock your race event. It's about refreshing, getting fired up to go again. And Antares Au looking to get stuck in here as to the inside. The number 26 Ferrari has a look. That's Ramez Azam looking up the inside in towards turn 12. And
that's good position as well, isn't it? Those two are on the same lap, so that's a genuine fight. But Antares Au is somebody that in the last few years, possibly with more mileage but also more racing and in different places, has really come on, but not enough to stem the tide of the challenge of Ramez Azam, who goes through on the inside. Ramez Azam then nips through in the Ferrari. But again, with 6 hours and 20 minutes to go, Antares Au does not need to slam the door. Last lap, maybe, but not now, because he's still got half the race still to go. And there is another time penalty coming. Sorry, Alan, I'll be with you in a second, but it's for the Gosners, just to let you know. 10-second time penalty at the next pit stop for track limit abuses for the green Mercedes. Al.
Well, it was that car I was about to talk about, because the team have been coming in and out of the garage, We were standing by for a pit stop, then they slowly walked back into the garage, then they sprung into action again, and then slowly walked back into the garage. So I think we were expecting Manuela Gosner to come into pit lane, and in fairness, I was hoping that at some stage I'd get the chance to chat to one of the Gosners, and hopefully Manuela, because we made friends last year, didn't we? And spoke at length about the toucan T-shirt.
Absolutely, yes.
That she was wearing, that for some reason coming straight in. So I now have a reason to speak to her and hopefully see the toucan T-shirt once again, which I mistakenly called a pelican and got told off about.
Well, you know what they say, Alan. Two can play at that game.
Thank you.
Only 6 hours, 20 minutes to go, everybody.
No. I've been waiting for an Addison, and I just got one, so that's excellent. Thank you.
Good night. Yes.
Don't go anywhere, please.
That was David Addison who died today. Yes. In the meantime, we're looking at 77. The hard-charging Frank Bird is still trying to wriggle his way through traffic, Tim, isn't he?
Yeah, and importantly as well, just up the road, a couple of cars ahead as Bird goes around the outside. That was very close indeed. I think that's the 51 of Landudis there. But interesting to see these drivers pick their way through. We've got Blattner just on screen there.
The weather is helping us, and yeah, they have to cover the whole weekend.
You say the wet tyres aren't used, but go back 12 months. Yeah,
yes.
we had rain, didn't we?
Yes, we had rain, and I think that as well that affected the performance last year, because see as well that from the lap times this year we are much better than last year.
This partnership between Pirelli and GT3 goes back a long way now, and yet, you know, last year you brought a new tyre into GT racing. How hard or otherwise is it to find a tyre that will work on so many different types of car and at so many different types of circuit?
Yeah, let's say that when we started with SRO in 2013, with Spa 24, we supplied our first generation of products for GT3 cars.
Centralist, yeah, I agree with Alan. Yeah, I don't think he's done that one before. So Lorenzo Ferrari behind the wheel of that car now. On an out lap, it will drop that car down towards the bottom, maybe just outside of the top six. We're keeping an eye on at the moment what is going on at the wheel of the Team WRT Nick Yellerly driven BMW, who got very close towards the tail end of Ian Loggy there and just managed to squeeze his way through as they came out of turn number 14. The BMW, remember, sitting there in second place overall at the moment. Nick is only... Alexander West about to be picked off by the Konstantin Dressler fourth place Porsche. So flash of the lights from Konstantin Dressler as he starts to come up behind the car that's running in the final place inside the top 10 at the moment. You have to just hold station as they head round through turn number 12 and 13 and up towards 14, as we've heard from so many drivers. This Marina section, not the easiest part to overtake, and Konstantin Dressler nearly squeezed his way at the inside of Alexander West there, but Alexander West squeezed him to the apex of turn number 14, and I think Konstantin had... This is all because Konstantin Dressler has got to get on with it. He looks in his mirrors, Lorenzo Ferrari is behind him, and Porsche are fighting for position with the number 77 Mercedes, and they're both being held up by Alexander West at the moment, who's not making things easy, because he still hangs on to the front of this little trio as they head round through turn 3 and turn 4, and Konstantin Dressler is going to start to get a little bit impatient soon. He's there in 5th place. He should have the inside line as head up towards turn number 5. Alexander West will surely let him dive up the inside at the wheel of the McLaren, so for a brief moment then Konstantin Dressler can breathe a sigh of relief. There's a car between himself and the Mercedes behind, but on the exit of the corner, Lorenzo Ferrari gets a good run coming off the corner, and now he is starting to close into Troia for turn 6 and turn number 7. Konstantin Dressler is going to hang on to the place, and Lorenzo Ferrari might get picked off here, as braking very late and diving up the inside, gaining 2 places there, was Zamin Jaffa at the wheel of the Racing One.
So the rather troubled Mercedes, but like last year, doing its best to persevere in the race, and the next battle on track. 16 seconds splits the race leaders, and Scott Andrews further back in the Ferrari. Another driver to keep an eye on, as through the traffic, 25 Ferrari up the inside line, goes through, but it's on a different lap, that car, in the hands of Alessio Rovera from Konstantin Dressler, but Rovera remains an absolute star in a Ferrari, so that car's just now come alive, hasn't it?
Yeah, he was the car that gained the 2 places, so yeah, Alessio Rovera, we always know when Alessio gets behind the wheel of that car,